I work for the Bishop of Birmingham, Director of Interfaith Relations, and I've put this together with lots and lots of help from lots of people. Good old Galton Bridge. Longest single span bridge in the world when it was built 200 years ago. So let's head that way. This is the first stop on our trail, and some of the places we're going to go to are big and well visited, and some are small but faithful congregations. And so part of what we're going to see is the different ways that people are worshipping and their faith communities are. But this is the New Hope Christian Centre, and it's part of what's called the Pentecostal tradition, and particularly the Elim Church within the Pentecostal tradition. It's quite a small congregation. Well, they've got two congregations. In the morning they have one that's predominantly Caribbean and also some white British folk, and in the evening it's a Tamil congregation. And this was originally the Sponcroft pub. They bought the old pub. Oh, thank you, that's a great honour. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Eventually that pub gone for sale. We bought that and we made a decision to open a temple on that building. But that building was a solid building. But somebody put it on fire. So we have to demolish that. So many hard periods we go by, but we believe that things happen. Those things happen that God wants.
Anything we start off with, we start with Lord Ganesh. Yeah? And then we move into the, this is the Lord Shiva, bathing with the milk and water. That's the main goddess. She's the wife of Lord Shiva. We got Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji in here. Hinduism and Sikhism are quite closely related. We celebrate all the same things. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a Hindu first. Then he took a little bit from Islam, a little bit from Hinduism, and then 500 years ago, Sikhism was born.
एप्पल दे दो एप्पल दे दो
एप्पल जय श्री कृष्ण जय श्री राम.
This was a working men's club selling alcohol, and it's now a mosque. They often do 2 Friday prayers or 2 sermons, and one's always in English, as with most mosques now, wanting to make sure the younger generation understand their faith.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going to walk that way round.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X came.
Did you meet him?
Assassinated in 62.
65, a month after he came here.
So I was nearly 3. I was 3.5, but my mum saw him because we lived on the street.
But he was invited by Mr. Avtar Singh Johal from the Indian Workers Association. Okay. He was the man who made the invite. And it was partly, and this is a bit like what you were telling me when you were telling me before about the plan for segregated housing, wasn't it? Yeah. Because it said there about he opposed to help oppose the segregated housing idea.
There was like a lot of unity, like if you're looking at 60s and 70s and 80s. People used to pray together. We used to go to churches. People would come to like gurdwaras and temples and everything. There was nothing other than people started exploring identity and religion and things like that. But it was really good. The community was really good.
So there was that good bit, but there was under that around it was this racism going on. That was really quite severe, wasn't it? I mean, I remember Lenny Henry on the telly one time saying it because he grew up near here.
From Dudley.
And he said how bad it was. Remember how bad it was? We had to have Malcolm X come. That's how bad. So clearly it was some original.
Yeah, very few.
I see what you mean.
Built to last back in these days, weren't they?
They were.
Maybe just a standalone.
Oh, it's where the gaffer lived.
Yeah.
Probably the factory owner.
None of these houses are here.
Yeah.
There was a corner shop down there.
Yeah.
That's not else instead.
Oh, there it is.
Given what we were just hearing about with Malcolm X being here and all that, and yet round the corner was a church providing youth club where they came together.
Yeah.
That's a really important part of the story, isn't it?
Oh, we haven't got any.
They'll give you best.
You can start getting London. Do you want to lead the way? Do you know what you're doing? And then people either sit on the floor or on the chairs.
We tend not to do our best towards the Guru Granth Sahib because that's our living spiritual leader. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. That's our traditional kind of Sikh greeting, and it's all to do with Waheguru. So in our belief system, Waheguru is the one God, and we obviously believe that different prophets, different messengers are all respected. They're all mentioned in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. This Gurdwara Sahib is unique because the community got together in 1993-94 and they purchased the building. It was the Empire building, so quite a historic theatre. If everybody's happy to, going up the stairs, there are a few stairs. I can show you the Sachkhand, and what you'll see is like beds where on an actual bed we'll place the Guru Granth Sahib out of respect, cover with a duvet, look after, make sure that it's an air-conditioned room, like the utmost respect.
A nationally significant Gurdwara, I think it's safe to say. Arguably the first purpose-built Gurdwara in Britain, possibly Europe, certainly in the West Midlands, but one of the first purpose-built Gurdwara. And this was originally a Semitic congregational church, built in 1855. That closed down in 1961, was derelict for a long time. The Sikh community bought it and used it as their place of worship. And the Gurdwara then did this statue just 2016, the lines of the Great War, to commemorate all the soldiers from the Indian subcontinent in both wars, obviously particularly the Sikh soldiers, but it was definitely about all the soldiers from the Indian subcontinent who fought and died in both world wars, huge numbers, which you'll see in the plaque underneath there. But a local artist did it
as part of the celebration of the birth of Guru Nanak, 50 years before. This started out as a conversation between here and Guru Nanak next door. The result was, through Andrew's good offices, that the Sikh leaders from all across Birmingham and beyond came here one evening. We had a ceremonial planting of the tree with the Bishop of Birmingham and the Sikh leadership. Fabulous evening. Church was absolutely packed with Muslims and Sikhs. There was hardly a Christian to be found. But that's a measure of the cooperation.
David will lead the way.
The first one.
There were 5 churches in this town, Church of England, and then they were closed to leave this one. And when I got here, they all sat in their different groups depending on which church they'd come from.
There are only 12 or 13 of those people still alive that I inherited, and they've been replaced by people from Asia, Africa, some Brits, with the result that it's now a black majority church. And I'm happy to answer your questions.
Welcome to the outside of the Abrahamic Foundation. In a nutshell, we called it the Abrahamic Foundation, or we set it up because we were a bit tired of spaces, mosque spaces, our spaces, of being spaces that were just for worship. And we wanted to create a space that was inclusive, wanted a space that went beyond community languages. So mosques generally are based on ethnic and language grounds. The Bangladeshi mosque, the Yemeni mosque, the Afghan mosque, the Gambian mosque, whatever it may be, you'll see these connections with the mosque and the language connected to that centre. And we felt that we're British born and we're a bit tired of these languages and these ethnic labels. We go to school with our friends and our colleagues and we don't really see anyone differently. We just want an English mosque, if I could sort of use that. An English, Muslim, British mosque that's really there for serving the whole community. Thanks, Nazir, and it is an amazing place. So always worth a visit. I've heard how beautiful it is, yeah. This is just called the High Street still? And if anyone wants an ice cream, feel free to get one, and we're going to head up through there and we'll stop towards the top. The community did have a mosque around the corner that seated right word. They could accommodate 700 people for prayer, but it was they outgrew it. So in 2005 they purchased this bit of land and started raising the money to build this, and they then spent 14 years raising the money and building it. The marble all came from Turkey because it was cheaper to go there and buy it and bring it over. And they extended it as they were building it. They thought, actually, this isn't really quite big enough. So their original budget was $2.5 million. It came in at just under $9 million. They've got over 20 paid staff. It's an enormous operation, really good. They do quite a lot of community activities. We believe in one God and Muhammad as the messenger of God. And this is the famous Ayat al-Kursi, which is one of the main verses in the Quran that talks about God's oneness and power. And there was a church in Birmingham, the Baptist church in Birmingham, on Cannon Street, and that was compulsory purchased by the council to build Corporation Street and Broad Street, and that money was given to 8 Baptist churches around Birmingham, and this was one of them. Right. So when they demolished the one in the city centre, this was the fruit of that. Right. So the other one at the other end, where we started this morning, 2 weeks ago, they had the Tamil Christians on a Sunday afternoon, and these have got Punjabi Christians on a Sunday afternoon, so some of that variety. So here we end this our final stop. Thanks very much for coming. It's been lovely. I'll lead us down to Roll Street Station. Thank you very much. The longest and highest iron girder bridge in the world that it's put up. However, just to the end of the walk, we have to get up there. So we've got a bit of a climb now. But there is a path and a handrail.
You didn't mention it.
I meant it sometime, you realised you were at the back when I had it there. Oh yeah, it's really